Jackson heard about Ryan the same way everyone else did, through TV and newspapers. Ryan to his home. They became close friends. Michael Jackson was always there for Ryan up until the time that Ryan died a little more than a year ago. And he's still there for Ryan's mother, Jeanne, who's talking about her son's book, Jeanne White, My Own Story. She is with us from her home in Cicero, Indiana. Welcome, Jeanne.
Thank you.
I interviewed you and Ryan before, and I saw how close you two were. It must still be tough for you, even after a year.
Very much so. I think the loss of a
Ryan wrote about Michael Jackson in his book. How did the two first meet?
Well, it was about 3.5 years ago. We got a call from Michael's people, and we did not know who it was at the time, but they asked if Ryan wanted anything, and we had no idea who it was, so Ryan said, you know, well, I'd like to have a stereo system. So the next thing we knew, we had a stereo system that was, the speakers were almost as big as Ryan. So that was the initial, and then after we got everything, we called Michael, or we called to see who it was, and they told us it was from Michael Jackson. So then Michael started calling Ryan the next week, and they became great friends, really.
Ryan must have been shocked initially to have Michael Jackson calling.
Well, I think, yes, it was. I mean, to find out that it was Michael Jackson, but at the same time, I think Ryan saw the quality in the two people. I mean, I know all the times they were together, they never talked about Ryan having AIDS, and they never talked about Michael being a celebrity. So it was two people that could be joined together that that shared the same interest and hobbies, and but they didn't dwell on each other's, you know, the problems in their lives.
What did they talk about? What did they do when they were together?
Well, you know, the first, Ryan spent several times at the ranch, but the last time was 5 days, and I know the first night they watched 3 hours of Three Stooges movies. And they liked Indiana Jones, and I think they're both kind of collectors, but they don't like play with the items, but they do like to collect things.
You were at the ranch yourself. What was it like?
Oh, it's a dream paradise. And, you know, Michael has so many other children there, too. He, I think most people don't realize that he just didn't help Ryan White. He helped so many other kids, too. And that's a quality of Michael, I think, that very few people know about, because Michael doesn't seek out the publicity.
Now, you don't hear about it. When you think of Michael Jackson, in fact, you think of this strange guy who sleeps in a chamber, who has the zoo in his backyard. Were you surprised by the side of him that you saw?
Oh, he wasn't strange at all. He was very quiet, I think very subdued. I think he was a very special, nice person. I think he has so many qualities. He's just a basically shy person, I think, that has maybe a little bit difficult in communicating because of how the general public foresee him.
Did you were taken out to the zoo and saw all the animals in the back?
Yeah, we saw it. We saw the monkeys, and we saw the giraffe, and his theater, the theater that he had built on the ranch. And
did you ever ask about the chamber?
Pardon me? Yes, I did. Ryan was so embarrassed. I was one of these people that, you know, didn't know the truth, I guess, and believed what you heard, the gossip. So I asked Michael about if he really had an oxygen tank, and Michael said, Jeanne, I can't believe you read all them read all them magazines like that. And I said, oh, Michael, I'm so sorry. And I know it really embarrassed Ryan.
He even made you take the Pepsi challenge.
Yeah. I asked at the ranch, he asked me if I wanted something to drink, and I said I'd like to have a Coke, and he said, why not Pepsi? And I went, oh no, I blew it. I thought, oh no, this is terrible. And so he said, you think you can really tell the difference? And I said, yeah, I know I can. And so they said a glass of Pepsi, and they said a glass of Coke in front of me, and I guessed right. I was correct.
Michael and Ryan really went beyond acquaintances and became close friends. How important was that friendship to Michael? I mean, to Ryan?
I think it was very special to both each other, because they both trusted each other so much. It was several times I would say, well, what did Michael say? What did Michael talk about? And he'd say, Mom, you know, that's private. And he said, you know, that's what makes us friends. He said, he can trust me and I can trust him. He goes, I'll tell you the basic things that we did. But he said, any personal or private talks me and Michael had, he said, we don't want it put in a book someday.
Do you still keep in touch with Michael?
very much so. I was at the recording studio just a couple months ago. I'm just marveled, I think, at the talent that this man has and how dedicated to his work he really is.
He wrote a poem about Ryan that is published in Ryan's book. I know there's a part in it that's very special to you.
Yes, there is. It says, the name of the poem is Ryan White by Michael Jackson. It says, Ryan White, symbol of justice, or child of innocence, messenger of love, where are you now? Where have you gone? Ryan White, I miss your sunny days. We carelessly frolicked in extended play. I miss you, Ryan White. You showed us how to stand and fight. In the rain, you were a cloudburst of joy, the sparkle of hope in every girl and every boy.
When was the last time that Michael and Ryan spoke?
Michael had a telephone set up, and when Ryan was in a coma, Michael felt like it was very important that he talk to Ryan and try to encourage him or whatever, and he felt positive that Ryan could hear him. So when Elton and I was at the hospital, we had a telephone set up in Ryan's room. We put the phone up to Ryan's ear for 2 minutes, and I have no idea what was said, but I know Michael talked to Ryan for 2 minutes. And that was the last time that Michael wanted to get there in time to see Ryan, but we did not think he would live past midnight, so therefore we didn't think Michael could get there in time. But it ended up Ryan lived till 7 in the morning, and Michael could have made it, and Michael really felt bad because he did not attempt and try to get there.
Jeannie, thanks so much for showing us another side of Michael Jackson we wouldn't otherwise see. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
When A Closer Look comes back, we'll talk with a guy who wrote a new, unauthorized, and unflattering biography.